Everyone on the Ark now!
1,000, if not more, the story of Noah's Ark.
For years, explorers and scholars scoured the world, hoping to uncover one of the most legendary artifacts in history, Noah's Ark, as told in the Bible.
The long hunt for Noah's Ark takes a sudden turn. The mystery of Noah's Ark.
Their search led them to Turkey, where a discovery was made that has sent waves of excitement through Christian communities. This ancient wooden vessel, long shrouded in mystery, had finally been found.
Is very interesting out there is up on the ridge just above where Noah's Ark.
Celebrations erupted, marking not just a historical find, but a profound moment for those who hold the Ark as a symbol of faith. However, amidst the joy and celebration, a chilling revelation has surfaced. What was found inside the Ark has left religious communities stunned, a discovery so shocking that it defies belief. The true impact of this find is something that cannot be fully understood until the world sees what comes next. Chapter 1. The Quest for the Lost Ark. Near the rugged border of Iran and Turkey, an astonishing discovery has captured the world's attention and ignited curiosity like never before. A dedicated group known as the Mount Ararat and Noah's Ark Research Team, comprised of experts from Turkish and American universities, has been meticulously excavating a site known as the Durupinar Formation. This site, composed primarily of limonite rock, has long been the subject of local legends, believed by some to be the remnants of Noah's Ark, a sacred vessel central to the stories of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. What makes the Durupinar site so intriguing is its uncanny resemblance to the Ark described in the Bible. The formation, shaped like a massive boat, measures approximately 515 feet in length, 85 feet in width, and 49 feet in height, eerily close to the dimensions given in the ancient texts. The artifacts uncovered at the site, dating back to between 5500 and 3000 BC, include clay-like substances, marine fossils, and traces of ancient seafood, all suggesting that this location was once teeming with life and might be linked to the legendary Ark. For centuries, adventurers and archaeologists alike have scoured the slopes of Mount Ararat, the biblical resting place of the Ark, in search of this elusive relic. They have reported finding pieces of wood, discovering large boat-like structures, and capturing aerial photographs that hint at the Ark's presence. Yet, despite these tantalizing clues, the scientific community remains cautious. While many in Western Christianity believe the Ark came to rest on Ararat, concrete evidence has remained elusive. The recent findings at Durupinar, however, have breathed new life into this ancient quest. Armed with advanced technology and international collaboration, researchers have uncovered new clues that may finally shed light on the mystery of Noah's Ark. Yet they proceed with caution, knowing that definitive proof remains just out of reach. As the sun sets over the Durupinar site, the Ark's secrets linger, waiting for the world to uncover its truth. Chapter 2. The Keeper of Secrets. In the heart of Kentucky, an extraordinary project is unfolding, one that has captured the imagination of millions. Helmed by Ken Ham, the founder of Answers in Genesis, this venture is no ordinary theme park. It's the Ark Encounter, a colossal attraction centered around a life-sized replica of Noah's Ark. Spanning a staggering 800 acres, this park is even larger than Disneyland, and it draws about 1.5 million visitors each year to northern Kentucky. The Ark itself is a marvel of modern engineering, meticulously constructed to match the biblical dimensions. 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, and 51 feet tall. But the experience doesn't stop at its impressive exterior. Inside, visitors are transported back in time through 3 levels of immersive exhibits. These displays vividly depict what the world might have been like before the Great Flood, how Noah and his family survived inside the Ark, and the aftermath of the deluge. The goal is to bring the ancient story of Noah's Ark to life, making it an experience that can be seen, heard, and explored. Ken Ham's vision for the Ark Encounter doesn't end there. He plans to expand the park further, with ambitious additions like a replica of the Tower of Babel and a model of ancient Jerusalem as it appeared during Jesus' time. The Tower of Babel attraction is particularly exciting, as it will feature a ride reminiscent of Disney's Haunted Mansion, where guests can sit back and journey through different scenes. The ARK encounter continually evolves, offering new attractions like an indoor petting zoo, festive Christmas lights, and a walk-through aviary. Behind the scenes, the park innovates with hydroponic gardens and seasonal worker accommodations. Despite facing financial and logistical challenges, the project thrives with significant investments and local government support. As it expands, a new discovery near Mount Ararat hints at a revelation that could challenge ancient beliefs. Chapter 3. The Mystery of Mesha Mountain. The theory put forward by David Allen Deal about Noah's Ark challenges the long-held belief that it came to rest on Mount Ararat. He proposes that the Ark's final resting place was actually on Mashu, or Mesha Mountain, which is located 17 miles south of Ararat. According to Deal, who draws from ancient texts like the Epic of Gilgamesh and linguistic evidence, the Ark initially settled at a high altitude of 7,400 feet on this mountain. He theorizes that Noah and his family then established the first post-flood city, Mesha Naxuan, utilizing remnants of the Ark for their new homes. Over time, natural forces such as earthquakes and rain are believed to have caused the Ark to gradually slide down the mountain, leaving behind traces of its descent. The local names, including Mesha, which means pulled out of water, and Naxuan, interpreted as Noah's Zion, are seen as reflections of the Ark's journey. Additionally, the mountain's two peaks, which resemble a wall of heaven, are linked to descriptions in the Epic of Gilgamesh as the initial landing site of the Ark. During his expeditions in 1996 and 1997, Deal discovered ancient dwellings and the Wall of Heaven at the spot where he believes the Ark first rested. He also examined old art and statues, finding connections between the story of Genesis and the mountain, particularly through a figure named Nama. While Deal's theory is compelling and supported by various pieces of evidence, it remains one of many ideas about the Ark's final location. Scientists continue to approach these claims with caution, emphasizing the need for further research and careful analysis before drawing definitive conclusions. Chapter 4. An Eternal Dispute. Both Jewish and Christian traditions cherish the tale of Noah's Ark, a story that has sparked countless debates and discussions throughout history. Despite the reverence both religions hold for the narrative, their interpretations and views on its historical and spiritual significance often diverge, leading to disagreements and complex discussions. In ancient times, writers like Flavius Josephus, who were either Jewish or Christian, believed firmly in the Ark's existence. Yet in the modern era, most scientists reject the idea of a global flood and a literal ark. Instead, some historians suggest that ancient floods in the Middle East, such as those in the Persian Gulf or the Black Sea, could have inspired these ancient stories. The debate over Noah's Ark is just one facet of a broader conversation about the relationship between Judaism and Christianity, two religions with a long and intertwined history. This relationship has been scrutinized even more closely following major historical events, like the Holocaust. Biblical scholars have engaged in intense debates about how Judaism is depicted in the New Testament, particularly in the texts of Luke Acts. While these writings don't explicitly condemn Judaism, they portray it in a nuanced and often complex manner that invites diverse interpretations. Over the centuries, religious leaders, scholars, and believers have offered various perspectives on these texts, influenced by their beliefs, cultural backgrounds, and historical contexts. As researchers and historians continue to explore the past, they seek evidence that either supports or challenges traditional understandings of these stories. This ongoing dialogue between Judaism and Christianity evolves as new discoveries are made and old assumptions are questioned. The discussion also extends to the concept of covenants in holy writings, a term interpreted differently in the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. This debate highlights the complexity of religious texts and raises questions about the nature of God's promises, whether they are eternal or subject to change over time, and whether they are meant for all people or specific groups. These intricate issues require a deep understanding of religious teachings, historical contexts, and an openness to diverse perspectives. Scholars, religious leaders, and believers dedicate significant time to studying ancient texts, comparing translations, and trying to grasp the intentions of those who wrote them. As these debates continue, the search for meaning, connection to the past, and understanding of sacred texts remains a central pursuit for both faiths. In the midst of these ongoing discussions, a surprising revelation has emerged that could potentially reshape what we know. Chapter 5: Humanity's Longest Search. The story of Noah's Ark is renowned across the globe, but it's not the only tale of a great flood. Throughout history, many cultures have crafted their own versions of flood stories, each with unique details, but sharing common themes of survival, divine wrath, and new beginnings. One of the oldest flood tales is the Eridu Genesis from Mesopotamia, believed to have influenced other flood narratives in the region, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh and the flood story in the Hebrew Bible's Genesis. These stories emphasize the importance of gratitude, remembering one's origins, and showing respect and humility toward the gods. In China and Egypt, flood stories feature prominent characters like Nu-Wa and the sun god Ra, who play critical roles in either causing or surviving the floods. These narratives often involve a select few survivors who are given divine tasks or aid to restart humanity. Similarly, in ancient Greek mythology, Deucalion and Pyrrha are saved by a chest that lands on a high mountain, and in Hawaiian lore, Nu'u builds a great canoe to escape a flood, eventually arriving on Mauna Kea. The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known stories, tells of Gilgamesh's adventures and includes a flood tale strikingly similar to Noah's story. Both accounts describe the gods deciding to cleanse humanity, choosing one family to survive, building a massive boat, and saving animals. However, cultural and religious differences shape these stories. For instance, Noah is saved because of his righteousness, while Utanapishtim, in Gilgamesh, survives due to his wisdom and the gods' favor. Another ancient flood narrative is the Atrahasis epic, discovered in the 19th century. Predating the Gilgamesh story, it shares many elements with both the Gilgamesh and Noah stories, such as divine anger, survival, and the world's renewal after the flood. Both the Atrahasis epic and the Genesis flood story include warnings about the impending flood, boat building, and the use of birds to find dry land. These diverse flood stories from different cultures and eras form a rich tapestry of shared human experiences. They illustrate a common theme of catastrophic floods, divine intervention, and the rebirth of civilization, reflecting humanity's enduring contemplation of destruction and renewal. Through these stories, cultures across the world have explored the power of the gods and the resilience of the human spirit, connecting us all through the shared idea of a great flood that wipes the slate clean and offers a chance to start anew. Chapter 6: A True Story? For centuries, the tale of Noah's Ark has captured the imagination of people across the globe, weaving together elements of legend, faith, and history. The biblical story of Noah's Ark is perhaps the most well-known, but ancient civilizations in Mesopotamia, China, Egypt, and Greece also have their own flood stories. These diverse narratives may reflect a shared memory of a significant flood or represent humanity's natural inclination to explain catastrophic events through storytelling. In ancient Mesopotamia, texts like the Eridu Genesis and the Epic of Gilgamesh recount flood stories strikingly similar to that of Noah. These tales speak of a colossal deluge, a chosen individual or family tasked with preserving humanity, and a boat that saves them alongside various animals. Central to these stories is the theme of divine judgment, the importance of moral conduct, and the renewal of life after devastation. Another Mesopotamian epic, the Atrahasis, delves deeper into the reasons behind the flood and the gods' perceptions of humanity at the time. While these ancient stories share common elements, the interpretations and lessons drawn from them vary, showcasing the rich diversity of human attempts to understand nature and the will of higher powers. Interestingly, geological evidence supports the occurrence of significant floods in Earth's history. The Black Sea flood, a notable event where sea levels rose dramatically around 7,500 years ago, is one such example. This, along with other flooding events in ancient Mesopotamia and changes in river valleys, might have inspired these enduring flood stories. Though no global flood on the scale of Noah's Ark has been proven, localized events may have sparked these tales. Whether rooted in reality or legend, these stories remain a vital part of human culture, reflecting our ancestors' efforts to make sense of the world. The story of Noah's Ark in particular holds a special place in religious texts and ancient lore, symbolizing faith, survival, and hope for a new beginning. Each new discovery continues to blur the lines between myth and reality, bringing us ever closer to understanding the truth behind these ancient tales.